2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here, and so is the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. For tonight's game, we'll be watching the Boston Celtics as they go up against the Bulls out in Chicago. For Chicago, the talk has been that they don't want to play with caution tonight. They want to let it all hang out. They seem to be a pretty revved up group coming into this game. We'll see if that translates into success on the court. We'll get to see Gordon Hayward suiting up in this one. Hayward, in addition to being a great shooter, also heavily involved in the competitive video game scene as well. Big fella, you going to go pro in esports anytime soon?
Well, esports is definitely on the rise, Ernie, and Hayward is ahead of the curve, but I don't really see myself sitting there. I'm too old for that, Ernie.
Well, sitting and old kind of go together, but there's a competitive nature in which Hayward just likes to express it. This is another way he does it.
Time now for tip-off. Let's send it to Kevin Harlan with the call.
You're older than me, Kenny.
And I like to sit.
Nightfall in the Windy City with the Willis Tower and the rest of downtown Chicago lighting up the sky. We're live, the home of the Chicago Bulls, the United Center. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Our broadcast team tonight, on one side, Greg Anthony. On the other side, Steve Smith. And on the sideline, David Aldridge. I'm Kevin Harlan. And before this game gets going, let's send it over to David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Fred Hoiberg. David.
Guys, he told me their primary focus of the pregame discussion was defense. He said they're dealing with a very sophisticated offense, and it's going to require an outstanding effort from his players at the defensive end to come out on top. Let's see if that's the effort they get. Guys?
Okay, David, much appreciated.
And you look at this Celtics roster, a bevy of long, athletic wing players. They seem to be taking a cue from teams like the Warriors, who have found success with defensive switching and positionless basketball.
And so off the tip, it's Boston. And now the opening lineup for Boston. Morris is the 4 with Horford in the middle. Kyrie Irving is out there with Smart. And it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. Now here's Hayward. In the corner, Horford with it. The basket good off the assist from Hayward.
And the Celtics, as you see, are stockpiling wing forwards. Brown, Tatum, Hayward. And we're seeing those guys lining up at the 2, 3, and 4. It gives Brad Stevens tremendous roster versatility.
The Bulls shooting their first free throws of the game. And the first one drops.
And one area of concern for Dunn, hitting his free throws with consistency, because he has the temperament to draw fouls.
He's off on the second. And last year, the Bulls, Greg, just didn't threaten anyone from outside.
And I think a big problem has just been personnel. You know, some of the guys they brought in as shooters just really haven't panned out, and that lack of shooting from deep is why this offense can grow stagnant at times.
Kept alive, Lopez. And there's 2 points. Working on the glass, paying off that time.
You love the way Robin Lopez just goes after those missed shots. That's where he can do damage.
Lopez against Irving. And the dunk by Horford.
Explosive leaping ability allows him to play the 5, even though he's a little undersized.
And the jam by Levine.
Great look there from Robin Lopez. Rare to see a big man with that kind of playmaking ability.
For Boston, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game. Morris a screen. And Zach LaVine gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. A shot by Hayward, wide open, good, and Smart gets the assist. Hayward's got 5 points so far.
The three-point shot, a big part of Gordon Hayward's offensive game. He'll shoot that now with confidence. Well, this is what happens when you're a threat down low. You attract a lot of defensive attention.
Now here's Smart. And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Back to Irving. The three. Boston getting another chance here.
And that was a heat check right there. First miss of the night, but still shooting 80% as a team. Boy, he blew an easy layup, and he is furious with himself.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in, and out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Dunn kicks to Wade. He's looking for Lopez and finds him. Second chance shot. Rebound Boston.
That was very tight defense. He tried to force the layup anyway. I think that was a questionable decision.
Poked loose and stolen by Dunn. And here we go. Fast break. Wade's got it. That's good from Mirotic on the assist by Wade.
And on the defensive side, just a failure to match up.
Well, the one thing you want to take away is anything at the rim. Just too easy.
Now, here is Morris. Out to Hayward. Dishes it to Smart. 5 to shoot. Outside Irving. Hits it from three-point range. Well, and Steve, you are known for ball handling at 6'7". It seems like we're seeing more and more big players with that kind of skills. Antetokounmpo, Ben Simmons in Philadelphia as he begins to come back in his rehab. Of course, LeBron James. Why do you think that's the case? The taller guys handling the ball and with great success.
You know, Kevin, I think it's because now guys are not in the box. I don't think you have positions. It's positionless basketball. And guys want to be able to dribble the basketball, shoot the basketball, and they work on their game. I know kind of my era, the big guys just stay in the paint. The guards handled the basketball, and then kind of the 2 and the 3 were the only guys that did a lot of different things. But I think right now, guys are learning the game from such a young age to be able to do it all, and that's the reason why we're seeing more triple-doubles.
Now, here's Irving. After Dwayne Wade's miss, Hayward. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist. Hayward's got 7 points.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And Gordon Hayward has increased his scoring average every season he's been in the league. And couple that last year also a career high in offensive efficiency. The guy is just a budding superstar.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Bobby Portis has checked in for Lopez. Markkanen comes in for Mirotic. Justin Holiday's checked in for Zach LaVine. And it's Grant in for Chris Dunn.
One of the all-time great shot blockers at the off-guard position. None other than Dwayne Wade.
In the corner, Horford with it. Three-pointer. The shot misses. And the Bulls going the other way now. And Gordon Hayward has worked on his strength, but also his balance, adding boxing, Greg, as you were talking about, to his off-season training.
Yeah, great point. I mean, the strength, the balance, and footwork make him a great slasher. This guy gets in the lane and just has a knack for working himself to the foul line.
And although Dwayne Wade, very much an NBA veteran, he is still a very high-usage player. He's 35 years old last season, and he was still putting up 16 shots a game.
When you think about the longevity of Wade's career, it is impressive. He has adjusted his game to still be a factor on the floor as he's aged. You keep waiting for him not to be productive, but he still keeps beating Father Time.
And Markkanen throws it down.
Nice read by Dwayne Wade. Beautiful.
Celtics leading by 6. Inside. Here's Brown. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist.
And the story here, Kevin, early on is how well they shot the basketball.
Here's Markkanen. And Boston with the rebound. Horford's got 4 rebounds in this game. For Boston, they've gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. Here's Rozier. Takes a big high bounce and goes in. Rozier's got 5 points so far.
And guys, they've come out and established a rhythm. And also their play calling has been on point.
Well, the two go hand in hand. Matching your strategy to your personnel is key.
Brown kicks to Rozier. Pass to Baines. He feeds it to Horford. Bucket is good. He's got 7.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
It's early, but they have taken full control of this game, and the fans here, they know it.
So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. Celtics out in front. They lead by 12. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And for the Celtics here, they've been putting on a show, guys. Markkanen is out there with Dwayne Wade. Then there's Grant, and it's Holiday in at the shooting guard position. That's the 5 out there for the Bulls. Tatum wide open. He fires one. The rebound by Holiday.
The open mid-range jump shot. He knows he has to hit that one.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, easy call.
The Bulls have made 2 and missed 2 at the line tonight.
And as a team, excellent a season ago. About 80% when they got to the line.
He hits 1 and misses 1 each at the line.
And how unique is this situation for the Celtics? I mean, one of the best teams in the league, and yet at the same time still drafting top picks. You know, the after effects of a trade with the Nets that quite honestly will go down as one of the league's all-time heists.
And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Here's Portis. Makes it off the glass. Portis has got it back down to single digits for Chicago. Boston's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. Rozier the pass to Baines. Here's Rozier. There's the pass to Tatum. Baines inside, working on Portis. And as the Nets struggle to rebuild without their draft picks, Greg, their losses have been Boston's gain.
Yeah, the rich get richer. I mean, meanwhile, the Celtics sign all-star caliber veterans like Al Horford and Gordon Hayward on the open market. And it's just rare for a team to have the best record in the conference and land the #1 overall pick.
Here's Tatum. And count it from 19 feet away. Tatum's got his first 2 points.
And his ability to knock down shots from the mid-range. I mean, he just seems to roll that ball so easily off his fingertips. It looks like it's going in every time.
So for the Bulls, Lopez, he's checked in for Markkanen. Zach LaVine comes in for Dwayne Wade. And it's done in for Jaren Grant. So Boston going with almost an entire new group here. Marcus Morris is checked in for Horford. Gordon Hayward comes in for Tatum. Marcus Smart's checked in for Jaylen Brown. And Irving subbed in for Rozier.
And that soft touch of Lopez makes things easy for him down there.
They set the pick for 3. Hayward, good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 3 assists now in this one.
Yeah, you see the killer instinct. He's going for the death blow.
True story. They got a monster league that's taking a life of its own.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Kevin, Celtics coach Brad Stevens is known for getting the best out of his players. He said every NBA player has an elite strength. Some of them have 10 of them. Those guys are the very best in the league, right? But every one of them is here for a reason. And there are times where you can really soar with that skill. Kevin?
And that's why Stevens is already one of the best coaches in the league, David. You've talked about him for a long time, getting maximum results from every one of his players.
And with all the talk about Kyrie coming to Boston, you still have to figure how he'll fit in to the team. Has this year and next left on his contract, player option after that. But with his scoring and shooting, should make this offense even more potent.
And the replay is courtesy of Under Armour. Unleash chaos. It was a great sequence from the steal all the way to the finish at the other end.
Nice move inside. Has the defender beat, just fails to finish.
And when you put a player of Kyrie's ability into this Boston system, you have to expect good things. Irving does so much for himself and others. The longer he plays with the team, I think the more comfortable he'll become. He hit 1-3 in the first, but the well has been totally dry for him in the second.
Dunn dishes to Holiday. Over Hayward. Tried to bank it in, but he misses.
And they've only got a slight edge on the boards, but it just feels a lot bigger.
Feeds to Baines. In the corner, it's Hayward. From outside, off the mark.
And that's the shot he wants. Just a little bit out of rhythm.
Here's Portis. Falls through. He's now made 2 of 4.
A lot of basketball comes down to recognizing mismatches and taking advantage of them like he did.
Smart kicks to Irving. Another miss by Irving.
Just not there from a rhythm standpoint right now. It's really eluding him.
2 points. That one goes. 6 points for Zach LaVine.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
Irving against LaVine. A nice shot by Irving. And the Celtics lead by 13.
Big difference from the first quarter to the second. His shot looks completely in rhythm now.
Taken away by Holiday. In transition, here come the Bulls. Here's Dunn. Great D that time from Irving. Boston leading by 13. Here's Smart. Off target from three-point range. Left side, LaVine. To the inside. Portis can't get it to go. Boston's gone 1 of 4 from three-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. And Justin Holiday picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Markkanen, he's checked in for the Bulls. Mirotic comes in for Justin Holiday. Celtics also with a sub. Al Horford is checked in for Aaron Baines. Now here's Irving. Not a lot of room. 6 to shoot. And here's Morris for 3. Connects from three-point range.
And a guy with more of a mid-range game, Morris can still jack it up from deep if you give him enough space and time.
Dunn passes to Mirotic. Dunn's shot's good. Dunn's got 5 now.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
There's the triple, and it's Hayward. That time on the assist by Irving. 13 points for Gordon Hayward.
And really, as the three-pointers keep dropping, you get the sense that the frustration is mounting for the defense.
That's nice patience by Zach LaVine, finding the open man, not trying to do it all himself.
Irving double team. Horford with it. He's picked up by Lopez. In the corner, Smart with it. For the 3. Chicago grabs the miss. Markkanen's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Here's Mirotic. Kick out to LaVine. Over Morris. Misses the jumper.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
And so it's the Boston Celtics riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They've got their field goal.
Thanks, Kevin. Coach, you're in a good position here at the break. What do you tell your team to make sure they don't let up?
Well, I don't think it's about letting up or playing better. Or it's just playing the right way. We just have to play good basketball. And we talked about it before the game. That's our goal going into the game. That doesn't change no matter what the score is. So that'll be the discussion at halftime.
Thanks very much, Coach. Back to you.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the 3rd quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. This is the halftime report. Gordon Hayward has been all over the floor tonight. He had 13 points and 1 rebound. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. Kenny, what's your take on Boston so far?
Well, their field goal percentage is a number that jumps off the page. May I say it's Shaq-like?
That's a good one.
Seriously, they're incredibly efficient shooting the basketball, and I don't think they settle for any bad shots. And you're never going to go wrong with that strategy.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Chicago?
Well, they gave up too many good looks. You look at the field goal percentage against them, this tells the whole story. Not enough activity defensively.
And that is just about going to wrap it up.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. And, Steve, it seems like the league is going more up-tempo, more offense, better flow. What makes the biggest difference to a team, in your opinion, as far as unlocking a great scoring potential?
I think when you have guys that can go up and down and you have 5 guys that understands the game, high basketball IQ, versatility. Let's take the Golden State Warriors. Let's take the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have 4 or 5 different guys that can lead them in scoring, lead them in assists, and lead them in rebounding. That makes the game fun to watch.
Best teams are always like that, though, aren't they? Got a lot of different ways to hit you.
Yes, and versatility. They can play small, they can play big, they can slow down, they can win on the defensive end, or they can win on the offensive end.
On the floor for Boston, Hayward outside at the 3 with Morris to his side at the 4. Smart is out there with Kyrie Irving. And it's Horford in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Both free throws good from Kyrie Irving.
While some are still speculating as to why Kyrie wanted out, the reality is, and it's this case with all great players, he feels like he's good enough to be the man on a team that can contend for a championship. And you might question how he went about it, but he's basically been a pro in his approach, and now he's got the chance.
Hayward with the ball. Wade picks him up, and the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's his first foul. Smart dishes to Horford. Back to Smart. Picked by Horford. Smart kicks to Hayward. Shot clock at 5. Fires from the wing. And good that time. And that's now 9 points for Horford.
Yeah, and he can really take his game outside when he wants to. Horford's got plenty of range to go along with all that work he does on the interior. And that's how you want to come out of the locker room. He is fired up.
Yes, in the first minute or so, you knock down a couple of shots, you are in rhythm.
Here's Irving. That's in for his 5th make of the night. Now shooting at a 50% clip, 5 for 10.
He is so good around the rim. Kyrie with an array of finishes in there.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You think back when Fred Hoiberg was a player in the NBA, great shooter who had a strong knowledge of the game. Not too surprised he ended up as a coach.
Good on the second free throw. And Smitty, you and Hoiberg played against one another during your careers and even guarded each other, I think, from time to time. What was it like going up against a player like him?
You know, Kevin, he must have been real young because I'm so old. I don't even remember that. But I do know and remember Fred Hoiberg and watching him coach. He is a fast decision maker. Also would find space as a player. And you see some of his strengths as a player and how he designs his offense right now.
Chicago making a switch here. Grant's checked in. Brownie's checked in for Boston. Kicks it to Levine. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. Here's Lopez. Here's Wade. Second shot opportunity, and it's sent back by Horford.
Terrible beginning to the second half. Just 1 of 5 so far.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up. And some changes here for the Celtics. Tatum comes in for Gordon Hayward. And it's Rozier in for Irving. And Gordon Hayward steadily increasing his scoring in the NBA, but he's also a playmaker.
Even attacking off the bounce, he'll find you. That's the mark of a really good player. He draws attention and makes his teammates much better.
And the foul on Dwayne Wade. That's foul number 2 for him.
And still early in the period, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit. But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority. It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Wade.
And he throws it right out of bounds. Careless mistake.
Here's Rozier. They lead by the biggest margin of the game, 25. Knocks it loose. Horford the pass to Rozier. Lopez over to help. Morris, it's
That athletic.
Way up there.
And not a next level athlete, but Morris has the ability to face up and beat his man off the dribble.
And that was Under Armour bringing you that replay. Unleash chaos. And what a play it was. Levine kicks to Lopez. Can they get it?
And I'll tell you, the sooner this quarter can end, the happier he'll be. It's been tough making shots.
Tatum with it. Wade picks him up. Tatum dishes to Horford. And he makes the bucket through contact and gets the whistle too.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And he'll be shooting his first free throw of the game here.
Finished the season last year around 80% from the stripe.
Wade passes to Lopez. And it's sent back by Horford. And he recovers it. The shot's good from Lopez. Here's Rozier. He has 5. The feed to Morris. Shoots it. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
An uncontested look from mid-range. He typically drains that one.
Knocked away. It's stolen by Morris. Brown kicks to Tatum. Here's Rozier. He's covered by Grant. Goes up. And the dunk by Grant.
And we talk about this a lot. Turnovers leading to transition points.
I love the anticipation right there for the pick. Then he wastes no time getting up court.
Here's Rozier. And there's the foul. It'll go on Jaren Grant. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And it seems these players are getting more and more athletic, Steve. So much of that is modern conditioning, core strength, off-season workouts, things that probably didn't happen when you were playing, but just because of science have developed now. What did you do that helped you out the most, and maybe some things you wish you had done?
Well, you look at my body, Kevin. Yes, it didn't help me. I was this skinny rail guy. We had a bench press, and we squatted. But guys right now are having more talking about core strength, yoga, Pilates. I mean, they're doing so much that it's totally different. I wish I would have been a guy who spent more time on his body versus my game, because it means a lot to be able to have that core strength. But I didn't think beach muscles, you really needed it to play the game of basketball. Guys right now, it's their entire body, and it's also their entire way they recover from the games of basketball. And I think that's what I wish I'd have worked on better.
That word you just said, recover. The recovery process, I think, is even more scientifically advanced now than it was when you played, correct?
Yes. Kevin, example for me, I just iced my knees. Guys now have hyperbaric chambers that they use, and a lot of guys have them in their homes.
Aaron Baines, he's checked in for the Celtics. And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
And really, Brown is very talented at nailing shots, even while getting hit. What muscle this guy has.
Dunn, he's checked in for Grant.
And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half. Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Bangs home the trifecta.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Outside Holiday, looking to end the run, and it's blocked by Brown. Another miss by Holiday.
Yeah, it just seems whatever they do, nothing's working right now to stop the bleeding.
It takes an effort on both ends of the floor, and you have to find the right matchups to exploit.
Dunn passes to Portis. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
He's made one and missed one so far in the game.
And you think back to just a few years ago when the Bulls were winning the East. That team, core of Rose, Noah, and Dane, had some tough luck not to make it to the finals with that group.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Tatum. Smart comes in for Brown. And it's Kyrie Irving in for Terry Rozier. And stolen by Dunn. Here's Markkanen. Right through the D for the layup. Markkanen's got his second bucket.
And Markkanen continuing to improve inside. I mean, utilizing his height, the D has a tough time matching up with somebody with his skill set.
Up in time. No good on the buzzer beater. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Celtics out in front, opening up a huge gap. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. Now let's listen into the huddle of Brad Stevens.
Hey, defense at the start of the quarter and the end of the quarter has been really good. Okay, it's been really good. Offensively, let's just keep moving that thing.
As calm as he can be, Brad Stevens did have one specific message. Don't hold the basketball, guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that will kill your offense. If you don't have a good look, move the ball. Maybe someone else does.
Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. We've got Quincy Pondexter. He's out there with Markkanen, and it's Zipser in at the two-guard spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago. Here's Ojale. Lays it up off the glass.
And on the defensive side, just a failure to match up.
Well, the one thing you want to take away is anything at the rim. Just too easy.
Pondexter. Ojale grabs the rebound.
You know, with that much room, you don't lay it up. You throw it down like you've been disrespected.
He dishes it to Irving. Fires from the wing. Basket counts.
And once Kyrie gets in rhythm, he's flat out unstoppable at scoring the basketball.
Now here's Markkanen. He's guarded closely. Here's Nwaba, just 5 to shoot. Shoots a 3. Zipser's shot is off. And here's the fast break. Here's Nader. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Irving's got 6 assists in the game.
And when you're on the road, this is how you silence the crowd. Tremendous all-around play.
It's led to a big lead. Credit the leadership on this team. They've kept everyone focused on what matters.
Tipped away. To the right side. Here's Nader. They get it again. The Bulls have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Pondexter kicks to Felicio. Pondexter, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
And it's Quincy Pondexter with the foul. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, clearly a foul of frustration right there.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Grant comes in for Paul Zipser. Boston also with the sub. Terry Rozier's checked in for Kyrie Irving.
It's fine to extend your defense to try and create turnovers, but guys have to help each other.
That's been a problem for them all game. Teamwork is something you just can't turn on and off. A nice job of converting, but what really makes this play, the league pass.
There's a good screen. Tice. His three-pointers off the mark. For Chicago, they've gone 3 of 6 from the field so far in the fourth quarter. The offensive rebound goes back up. Mirotic's shot is off. The Celtics have gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
And you have to like how they're getting the ball inside this half. They didn't have as much success in the paint earlier, but they're finally getting it done down low.
Well, last season, there seemed to be a disjoint between the Bulls players and the coaching staff in the front office. Made for a lot of off-the-court distraction, it seemed like, Smitty, and took the wind out of their sails.
You're right. There were a lot of rumors and accusations going around as to why there was a rift. I can tell you this, when things are that sour, it is hard to focus on basketball. Hopefully the Bulls can put that behind them.
Basket good.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Here's Pondexter. Plays it up and banks it in. Pondexter's got 6 in the quarter.
Attacking on the interior, I like that attitude.
The Celtics have gone 7 of 10 shooting the ball since the start of the fourth quarter. They set the pick. Rozier kicks to Tatum. And stolen by Mirotic. Grant dishes to Mirotic, and Baines pulls it down. Boston's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Nader the pass to Rozier. 1:43 left in the fourth quarter. Just 5 on the clock. Puts up a 3. The shot missing. So the Bulls will take it the other way. Knocked away. Here's Grant. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. No good on that one.
And the Celtics gave up 4 players to get 1 in Kyrie Irving, but they already had so much depth. They could afford to sacrifice a bit for a superstar just entering his prime.
Chicago making a switch here. Holiday's checked in.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Celtics.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Horford.
And the way he rebounded, he surely was a spark for the team as he was securing everything that came off the iron.
Here's Rozier. Gets it to drop, and now he's shooting at a 5-for-8 clip.
And really for the Celtics, just a wealth of assets, but in reality, only so much playing time to go around. Sooner or later, you knew they'd make a move, and I think they got the best player in the trade.
Can't finish, and defensively, nice job of altering the shot without fouling.
And it's Quincy Pondexter with the foul. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. And the Celtics with possession here. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. In the corner, Tatum with it from the wing. And Baines kicks to Tatum. Pass to Rozier. Now the dish to Baines. The screen from Brown. Tatum with it. And so it's Boston easily grabbing this one. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send it over. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. Now for Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA here on 2K Sports.